people who wanted to end the fracking ban was seen as somewhat undesirable and a bit strange and inciting culture wars. Now you're backed up by the former head of MI6.
Well, isn't that wonderful? I mean, I've been leading this from the front. In October, we launched Car 26 and we called for, we did polling asking about a referendum, whether people wanted to have it or not. And actually, 58% of people said that they wanted to have a referendum on net zero. And that got a tremendous amount of traction. And now we've started a petition as well, which is also getting a tremendous amount of traction. We really, really, really want to get fracking started again in the UK. And we've got these wells in Lancashire that are going to be concreted up in a couple of weeks. I mean, what's that all about? It's just absolutely ridiculous. And make no mistake, this whole Putin situation would not be happening if we had domestic energy security. It's reckless, absolutely reckless.
Now, we've talked to Francis Egan on this show on previous occasions. He is the CEO of Quadrilla, as you know. And to fill in viewers and listeners who don't, Quadrilla is one of the companies that's been exploring the prospect of fracking here in the UK. They were operating ahead of the 2019 ban, scoping out wells, spending lots of money developing wells, employing hundreds of people, not least in some of those red wall seats that the Tories need to retain in order to maintain their parliamentary majority. So it may be that you're hitting a political sweet spot here in terms of...
Wouldn't that be lovely?
What's the word from it? I know you talked to lots and lots of people, Lois, in your campaign. Do you see any sign of the government moving on this to overturn that fracking ban?
Well, I mean, people really need to do is they need to go on Google, go end fracking ban and sign my petition. That's the main thing. Once we're nearly up, we're on our way to 10,000 signatures, then they have to respond. 100,000 signatures.
You get the debate
debated in Parliament.
Yep.
But there is a zeitgeist, there is a shift. People are waking up. You know, when people can't afford to put their heating on, literally. I mean, was it yesterday they were saying that the mortgage is less than what people are paying for their heating for a lot of people now. People are waking up and, you know, it's scary what's happening in Russia at the moment. And I don't think this would be happening if we weren't being so stupid about all net zero nonsense. I really
because
don't.
you think the Russian president's been able to take advantage of the Western Europe because we are so reliant on Russian gas, particularly the Germans and so on, because we haven't developed our own shale gas to secure our own energy supplies. So let me ask you this, Lois. To what extent do you think that the fracking ban is driven by misinformation? What's your thoughts on reports that fracking causes underground earthquakes, it leads to gas coming out of people's taps in their bathrooms?
It's all fake.
Isn't there some truth in that?
Apparently,
at least some.
There are little tiny tremors that are about 2.9 on the scale. That's what all the green wokey people that were all funded by Russia, by the way, and I think it was in preparation for what he's about to do now.
Well, they'd deny that. But
they would deny that. But yeah, you know, it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. 2.9 on the Richter scale is what they were actually identifying as being a problem. You can't feel anything at all unless it's 4, and even that is like a bus rumbling by. It's just absolute nonsense.
Just to play devil's advocate, though, and build up the debate, if I may, the question isn't that it causes earthquakes that causes, you know, San Francisco and you know,
but you wouldn't even feel it.
Huge ruptures in roads and houses. But if you have underground earthquakes, it can undermine aquifers and damage water supplies, and they become... Is there any truth in that, in your view?
I think possibly when fracking first started, there were some developmental issues, but they've all been completely ironed out. I mean, in America, they're fracking all the time. There's no problems over there. And actually, we've been fracking in this country for 50 years. We've had over 200 wells. No one cared. No one cared at all until the money started flowing in to get it all overturned in 2013. The government used to actually go for gold with it. They thought it was brilliant.
So let me ask, Lois, I'm a responsible journalist. I've got to ask you this question. What's your motivation for this? You're not, as far as I know, a geologist. You're obviously an experienced writer and broadcaster, you know, fair play.
No, I'm not a geologist.
And you're an effective campaigner, no one could deny that. But where are you coming from in this debate? Are you doing this on a voluntary basis? Is somebody paying you to do this?
I feel at its heart that us having domestic energy security is a libertarian issue. I really do. Because without our own energy, We are at the mercy of situations like Putin. We are at the mercy of everything being electric and very, very controlled, which, of course, if you have electric cars, electric heating, everything, you could be switched on and off. You know, there's loads of debates about things like that at the moment. For me personally, it's about us being free. Nothing makes us more free than
but you do this.
energy.
You're a volunteer, right?
It's my organisation. It's a company. It's a private campaigning company.
And so you get funding from donations,
donations.
As many charities do, right?
Absolutely, and merchandise.
Merchandise.
Can I give you your T-shirt?
Yeah, why not?
So this is available on my website, car26.org. So there you go. I got an XL. Is that right?
Yeah.
I had a look at you. So there you go.
I'm clearly an XL man. There you go. Or even an XXL man. There you go.
But people must go on our website and they must sign the petition for the referendum on net zero. But the main thing I'm pushing at the moment is let's do this House of Commons petition to end the fracking ban, because we need security in everywhere. Or it be not the rumble of buses like Tremors, it'll be the rumble of tanks that we're hearing.
And just finally, Lois, there's obviously going to be a big debate about this. You've got, a big lobby that wants fracking, and you've got a big lobby